It's prime. We're 3 balls in, then we 3 balls out. We all up on your screens like it's prime time's route. Mighty gets a score, and and PJ start to scout. Your rhyme's really trash, what do you think he's damn fouls? TBI the show, so buckle down, sit back. And Jay we trust, cause he's the leader of the pack. It's prime, Jewball.
This is TBI 3 balls in alongside Dave and Logan. It's PJs. Once again, we're back at it. TBI, we're bringing you the best stuff we got. We got a lot of things to talk about in this episode. Some big news breaking. And of course, the biggest news of them all is Mazel Tov, Logan.
Thanks, man.
Man, a baby boy. We decided since Jewball couldn't celebrate the Shalom Sacher with you, we would bring the Shalom Sacher to Logan.
Oh, well, that means we got to get the drinks out.
Yeah, let's bring out the drinks.
Oh, sweet. It's going to be a fun show. Right off the bat, I'm excited.
All right. Well, here we are. We got some groundbreaking news. Let's bring in our first guest and our only guest this show. He's not a surprise to TBI. He's been on before, but he's well-liked by all three of us. He's well-liked by everybody.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like this man.
And welcome back to TBI, none other than Trey. You're in TBI. You are here. We're so excited. You know what? We don't normally do this. We're giving the floor to you. You've got some groundbreaking news for Jewball.
Yeah. So we got some news. We got some breaking news. Tuesday Night Football is now official. So we got.
Whoa!
Wait,
so here's
what does that mean? What does that mean?
So we officially have the I guess the rights to the field in Greece Park every Tuesday night, and it's going to come with a caveat that I'll explain after. Every Tuesday night from about 9:45 till 11, and we're going to make it a thing. So there's going to be an extra Jewball pickup game now every single week. I don't think stats are going to count. Devo, sorry. But
I'm actually going to win though.
Which is the most important stat.
Exactly. But yeah, so as long as we could get a game, the field is ours from about 9:45 to 11. Caveat is that it's not always Tuesday night. So we're still going to call it Tuesday Night Football, but sometimes it'll be Thursday, sometimes it'll be Wednesday. It depends on when the league game is that week, which kind of is fitting for Jewball. So call Tuesday Night Football, but we play Thursday.
All I've heard is that there is zero chance that MK or Tom make it to any of these games.
There's the sign-up sheet on an index card.
That goes without saying. And highlighted.
By the way,
color coordinated.
When you said that there was a caveat, I thought it was that we had to use Dom as a ref.
I guess she was exactly.
Just Jared.
Just Jared.
I was thinking exactly. Dom had to officiate this year's championship. That was the caveat.
It's a separate story that I'll get into. That was a conversation I had with him, but we won't get into that now.
So since we don't really play leagues anymore, are we moving leagues to Tuesday night?
I mean, it sounds like it could be a thing for future. I mean, I think for this year it's a little too late, but maybe it's a thing. I mean, there's already been 2 Jewball teams in Dom's league. I mean, there's only 6 teams, so in his league total, meaning if we could make a couple more teams, it's not the craziest idea.
You know, it's funny. If we brought one of the quarterbacks from Dom's league into our league, we would have 2 Jewball teams in Dom's league, and we could have 1 Dom quarterback in our league. It's not a bad little mix and match. You know what I'm saying? Be a solution to our 5 or 6 teams.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
would be embarrassing because we'd lose like in 2 leagues to Dom quarterback.
Too soon? Is that too soon?
I pray it would be a shame for us not to get into this, but you know we're more than halfway through the season. You know, you have a little more familiarity with Dax, and you know some of the guys who play on the Tuesday Night League. Are you shocked by how much they've come in and dominated? I mean, just looking at the stat sheet, the power ranking sheet, just seeing their names galore everywhere. Like, are you shocked by this?
To be honest, no. I mean, I've played with Shirley for years. I mean, my first couple of seasons playing in Dom's league was with Shirley. We made teams together for years. And he's always been like this. He's always been. I didn't know Morty as well those couple of seasons. I think I mean Morty's I think he's a drop younger than me, so I don't know. Maybe he was in Israel at the time, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Shirley was. I mean, he's always been a fantastic quarterback. So definitely not surprised. I'm surprised though, I guess, as like how quickly he like just jumped into the Jewball part of it. Like the football part of it, I was expecting. The Jewball part of it, and I'm sure we'll at some point we'll release the text between him and Yaron one day that I had the privilege of being a part of. But yeah, the Jewball
Now
part of it,
that's a
I'm a little more.
three-way I'd want to be part of.
The Jewball part of it, yeah, exactly. The Jewel part of it, I'm a little bit more surprised. Like I mean, he took off, and I think he's fully committed. I think they're all fully committed. I don't think there's any of them that are, you know, iffy at all or question mark at all about like Jewel as a whole.
No, I'd agree with that. I think we have them, right? Like I think they're
Yeah.
hooked, right?
They drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
They drank the Kool-Aid, right? They're in.
I mean, they're at the Hanukkah party, and that's how much.
I was gonna say,
That's
Right.
already a step. Yeah.
That's really the first like indicator as to whether or not
Yeah.
someone's going to be part of it. If they're at their first year, that's a big step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do
maybe
you
we
think
should
that-
still do the rookie initiation stuff. But
You mean where they at the end of the season they pay for everyone's doma?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of given. Wasn't that in your own text too, Dax? I thought that was kind of
Sure,
the
the text was, again, we'll get into it one day, but it might have been. There was a lot in there.
Was there some bottle rubbing going on?
Oh, Davo.
Maybe.
Davo. You had to flirt with the guests, didn't you? Yeah, how to do it.
I mean, his nickname was Prince Charming for a reason. I'm just saying. The way for him to come to North Woodmere, but whatever. We'll talk about that.
One day.
What do you make of the league so far? You obviously it's tough for you. You had a rough start to the season with your injury. I mean, listen, just not the whole Jewball is excited that you're back because without Prey, it just wasn't the same. But now that you are back, you got 2 games in. One was one you'd like to forget, not because of your performance, just more of what the game was like. And the other one, which is one of historic measures, being down the way you were and fighting back. And what's your thoughts on the league in total? You know, are things going the way you thought it would go, or do you think potentially leagues are better this year versus last year? Obviously, we're only 4 games in, 4.5 games in after this week, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to some. I forgot who I was talking to about it this past Sunday. I'm like, as like sort of beginner level as leagues were that first season when we sort of just made teams and figured it out as we went along. And maybe I'm a little biased because we won the championship, but I just feel like it ran like everyone was sort of in it. There was no real. It was an extra intensity that the games brought, but it didn't get into this sort of craziness outside of it. I think the last 2 years the intensity has definitely risen, which is I guess a good thing. But at the same time it's gotten a little bit nuts with the scheduling and this and all the other stuff that comes along with it. Overall though, I think leagues are terrific, and I think Jordan said in the chat a couple of weeks ago, like you can't just have leagues, you can't just have pickup games, and you can't just have bowl games. The mix of all three, it brings a lot more excitement. You're always looking forward to something new, something extra that's coming on a different week, whether it means you're having a more relaxed game or whether it means you're having a more intense game. Either way, there's always something to look forward to. And I mean, honestly, the regular Jewball pickup games, you know, they also get pretty intense, but obviously leagues it does bring another level with the set team and everything like that. Overall though, I mean, I love it. I can't, football is football. And if it was regular pickup games, I'd love it as well. It happens to be, it gets, you know, on an increased level on some weeks. So it's even better. I mean, I'd play the whole year if that was an option.
What's the biggest surprise of the season so far? Not necessarily, it could be league weeks, but the overall Jewball season. What's the biggest surprise of the season so far?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Come on, the first trade ever. I'm joking.
Well, yeah, it's true. First,
So 3 stats in.
I got so sick of you after 2.5 seasons. Like, get this guy off my
it was
team.
2.5. It was 2 games that I didn't even play, and it was just like, all right, that's it.
That's right. That's so true.
That's what you were sitting on the bench with him. You finally understood.
Exactly. Biggest surprise. I mean, selfishly, I want to say that I really thought I was done for the season. So I'm just happy to be
By the
back.
way, so did we.
I mean, I thought there was 0 chance I was playing again this year. I thought maybe like playoffs, championship, week league, like 6. But yeah, I whatever. The biggest surprise, I guess it's just like it's it has to be the rookies, right? Just taking off the way that they have. Not even the football, because like some of them I knew that they were able to play. Like, so that part's not a surprise. It's taking off within the chat, within the sort of extracurriculars of Jewball itself. Like, no one would have been expecting that. I mean, it's really the last 2 years of rookies that have just like when I first started, I maybe posted on the chat once in a while after a game saying, "Hey, good game," whatever. Like, I didn't know anybody. I was just, sort of just trying to be innocuous, whatever. And all of a sudden, like, these guys are just firing all day, which is definitely a good thing.
Listen, going back to your injury for a second, we don't want to stay on it too long, but how's the knee feeling? Obviously you're playing. Finally saw you back at safety.
Had a pick six, right? That was pretty big, and
yeah,
I had a pick this past week as well.
Throwing a lot, but we'll get to that later. How are you feeling? And are you there yet? Are you 80%, 100%? Where are you at?
Yeah. So in honor of Singer, I'm about 80%. No, but for real, I'm probably about 80%. It's, put it this way, it's a lot of prep to play, and then it's a lot of recovery after, which I'm not used to. I used to walk onto the field, didn't stretch, and came home and didn't stretch, and played again Tuesday night and played again Thursday. Like, there was no difference. So it's a lot of prep to come out and play. Currently, I'm hoping that sort of gets easier and easier as it goes along. But thank God. I mean, I can't complain. It's been an annoying recovery, but there's the light at the end of the tunnel has already like shown itself. Like, I'm already playing again. I'm already playing both ways now again. So definitely can't complain. But it's just something I got to deal with for now.
All right, Prey, before we let you go, there's actually another big announcement you like to make to Jewball.
Oh,
More specifically to TBI. What is this big news you like to present to us?
Praymakers coming soon.
Yes.
Leave it at that.
Yes. A new segment to TBI is Praymakers. And
Please tell me it's Prey's Kiss of the Week.
That'd be a good one. I think, Logan, you'd win it every week, though. After that magical moment, I mean,
it's so
nothing
good.
to take away from that.
A kiss from Prince Charming, just what Logan's been hoping for.
There you go.
Christmas come late,
but just give us a little bit of obviously you're gonna have us a special Praymakers later in the show, but just give us a little bit of what is the basis of your segment. It won't be every week, it'll be every once in a while, but what's the basis of the segment?
Yeah, so I was thinking about it, and it's basically just going to be Prime's best play of the week. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, it's going to be the sort of like the Hail Mary play of the week, the all out what you needed to do to get the job done. That's going to be the Pray, get it? Because Hail Mary. Praymaker of the week. Just
I like it.
Explaining it for the audience.
He's not just a pretty face. He's got a little bit more going on up there too.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
it.
I mean,
Great
Davo
idea.
thought of it, which now I have to give it up. But anyway,
I have good ideas sometimes.
yeah, it wasn't a lot.
I write that
Every
in my
so
notebook.
often.
I write that on my
Exactly.
notebook.
He's
Exactly.
Owen Wilson from Wedding Crashers. He's an idea guy.
The idea guy. Exactly. Exactly.
That's it. All right.
Except
Pray.
we couldn't think of Rule 76 for our name.
It was
By
taken
the way,
away.
that's unbelievable. Whoever did it.
By the way, I know you all
Genius,
just
beyond
discovered it.
genius.
I've been saying it for a long time.
I never heard it until PJ's posted that GIF. I was like, wait,
Um,
what? That's where the name came from?
Oh god.
But even in the movie, it's like it's a throwaway line. It's not even like a main line in the movie. Like
Yeah.
you have to like really watch the movie to see it. But it's that's a good team name. Wow. I
That's
pray.
fantastic.
We're excited for Praymakers. We're excited for all this big news that you help bring about to Jewball and to TBI. We're looking forward to more great things from you. And let's see what happens. You're not playing this week, right? You get a week off.
Good. Sign up for game 2. We have to tell Zada to put
Yeah.
a link up. That's what we gotta do.
We'll
we'll
do that. 3 balls up.
There we go.
Thank you, Pray.
Thanks,
Feel
guys.
good. Thanks
Take
a
care.
lot.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
good night.
Pray. That was great. Some great news from Pray. And l'chaim.
Nice having him back. Cheers, man. Cheers, Davo.
In honor of little baby boy Logan. We're excited.
Soon enough.
X23.
Ooh, that would be a good one. All right.
Not bad.
That was actually really good. It was really good. All right, guys. This past Sunday, there were 2 games. Dave, you played in the second game. We'll briefly talk about the first game. it featured, honestly, two of the hottest quarterbacks in the league right now, Dax versus Prey, and a lot of talent on both sides of the field. And what was shocking in this game, 7 picks thrown between those two quarterbacks. Not what you would have expected, not what you would have anticipated. It ends up being a 4-3 win for Prey. I think there was 2 pick sixes as well, or 1 pick six, but just wow, like what a type of game like that.
I mean, so it's definitely surprising just because we know the caliber of talent, both like at each team's quarterback. But when you have such stacked teams, it's that much harder to move the ball. And it's not surprising that, that either they were forcing balls or that just defenders were making great plays because, again, with stacked teams comes stacked defenses.
Talking about stacked teams.
Yeah, talk about it.
We got to talk about him.
Yes.
Number one, came back finally.
Yes.
Our savior, by our savior, I mean Top Guns.
Oh,
Singer
Jewball
came
also.
back.
I mean, a healthy singer is good for Jewball in general.
A healthy singer is good for everybody in general.
That's also true.
But it was great to see him on the field. He played, I think, pretty well. Still coming back from that injury a little bit, but he played great. And I think he's just gonna snowball it until we get a snow game, hopefully.
Little snow puppet.
He'll snow puppet. And I wonder if he can make the power rankings with such few games left.
I'd have to say no.
With Singer, you never know though.
I'm with you. I just think there aren't enough weeks.
He had 2 sacks in the game, by the way. So he's already got more sacks than half the league at this point in one game.
Fair.
So and by the way, I'm talking about a lot
sacks
of
don't count for anything.
that's also true. We've had that debate before. I think the best part though is Open had a touchdown yesterday. First TD in Jewball. You talk about a guy who's
Big moment.
It's a huge moment. You talk about a guy who's mostly known playing line. You like to see that happen. You like to see a guy like Open get a touchdown, and
Big deal. You never forget your first. It's a big deal.
and you also never forget your last. But hopefully,
Unless you have dementia.
In which case you do forget your first. But that's
and
okay.
your last. But here's the thing: it's exciting when someone is playing, plays 10 weeks of 12 weeks, whatever it is, mostly plays line, dedicates himself to the field. It's nice to see him get
He's
touchdown.
also very likable, just like our
Oh my
guest.
gosh,
very
definitely.
likable. So he's a very easy guy to root for.
See, but you know what the problem with throwing a touchdown to Open was?
He was open.
No, but besides that,
Because that's
Is
what
that-
happening
is that-
for the ball.
Prey thought that is a good idea to throw to lineman, and he threw a pick instead of throwing it to Bert.
Well, I didn't connect the dots there, but
Yeah,
I do agree with you that is a problem.
I have no idea what he just said, but I love it. It's Davo. I love it. All right, let's transition. Let's transition to game number 2. Can I just say before you tell us your take on the game? By the way, Bin caught a touchdown yesterday. Love it. I love it. First of all, he's my teammate on Linearts. Besides for that, just love the fact that Bin caught a touchdown yesterday. But talk about the game.
I actually thought it was a very good game, and today I think I'm the most sore I've ever actually been
Wow.
all year. I don't know why, because it wasn't like an intense physical game, but it was just a great game. Ended at 5-4 in overtime. Defense was sloppy on both sides.
5-4. He's gonna have sloppy defense.
Bad flag grabbing, but
That means bad tackling.
Mm-hmm. That's not what I heard.
But I want to throw a few shout outs. Perla, even though he took the lead, still tried to lead his team to victory, even though we were coming back.
4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions yesterday, right?
Correct.
He does not turn the ball over.
No, not much. Not much. I think he has the most is 2 in a game, and that was much earlier in his
I think
his
Yeah.
tenure.
It was
I
early,
think he
yeah.
threw like 3 pick sixes in one game. No, whatever. Jordan had an amazing catch, and it was just very sound play. You're running through 5 touchdowns to 5 different players.
Your Jordan also had a pick in game 1, so
Mhm.
there you
Racking
go.
up those stats.
Yeah,
But that, I agree that you're running through to 5 different receivers or 5 different players.
I'll tell you,
That's a good game.
Everyone on the
that's
team
usually a
but
recipe
Cutler.
for success if you're
Right.
spreading the ball around.
Storm had a great game, and I think there's a new Storm line. Come over for dinner. It was you had to be there, but you'll see it again soon.
Just like you gotta love him inside and out, right?
I love playing with
Look,
him.
if that's the price of
anything.
admission to rub his bottle, then I'll come over for dinner. That's fine.
Hey, listen, a Storm. even though his play on the field was very energetic and energizing for the team, he just motivates the team. I don't think we win without his motivation and getting us going. And kudos to Yaron for not screwing it up and leading us to victory.
Okay, well, thanks for not really or really trashing my quarterback, but listen, at the end of the day,
I think you referenced the fact that either you're on Lionhearts or like either you've said Lionhearts or my team like more times than you've mentioned Bench or Birds of Prey in any other episode combined. Like you really driven it home tonight. Mentioning the trade, mentioning my quarterback. Like you love the fact that you are on Lionhearts. Like you are fully embraced.
Talking about your quarterback, should we jump into the league games this week?
okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
Sure, why not?
let's go
Let's
for
talk
it.
about it. Yeah.
Back up.
Wait a second.
Did you say games?
One second.
Oh, yeah.
One second.
League game.
For those who don't know this, apparently Roll Tide, who would have traded for me, by the way, don't have enough players, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. It's not Yeshiva week. I'm not sure why 2 weeks after New Year's you can't field the team.
You've
but
actually now been traded for the rights of the last pick of the draft that Roll Tide didn't get to make.
exactly.
That now you're on Roll Tide.
Okay, there you go. They don't even have a quarterback. They don't have enough players. They are going to bow out this week, and Bop has agreed to it as Goldberg's still tending to his injuries. Tabak, even though Tabak has been
What's wrong with
playing.
Goldberg? Is he okay?
Yeah, Goldberg, I think he'll be back. He's been resting and wants to make sure he's healthy for the rest of the season. Doesn't want to do what he had last year.
Good to hear.
And then you're looking at potentially a couple of guys on Bop, wanting to take the week off and not putting pressure on Roll Tide to play the game. So here we are in another scenario where you have to make up this game at another point.
Tuesdays.
Maybe that might be the solution or the option. Who knows at this point? But let's talk about the game that is being played. And that is Lionhearts versus.
I got a question.
Sure.
It was your idea to get into this.
No. But I'm saying
Yeah,
the game that's not happening.
Just happy table's happy. There we go.
Should they have to forfeit?
Both of them?
No, I'm saying if Roll Tide can't field
No,
a team,
we had this already once this year.
again even back then
he
also,
makes an interesting point, and that is if a team like Bop was ready to play this week and would have fielded a team, and Roll Tide, even with free agents, couldn't field a team. I'm just presenting the scenario. I'm not agreeing with him.
Here's the reason
I
why
hear
the
what
answer
you're
is
saying.
no. The reason the answer is no is because,
That's just not the Jewball way.
well, first of all, everyone makes the playoffs, so who cares, right?
Exactly.
Number two is we have leagues to play leagues, not to just get
But
like W's and
but
like,
we have dates
But
that
he-
are set for leagues to play.
like
the game.
someone's
but-
looking to get a pickup game.
I agree. Listen, we do have rainouts. We do have snow days for a reason. It's actually in the schedule for extra games for that reason, right? But the one thing I will say, setting precedent, because our real hope is the next year. I mean, I know it's a joke and everyone likes to joke around about it, but it's a real hope that we have 5 or 6 teams next year. I know that sounds crazy because, teams can't field teams this year. We've had it already a couple times this year. I don't think that's going to happen going forward. If we are going to have some type of merger with Tuesday night with Dom, and we do get some of those players, I think we'll be okay in terms of rosters. But I think setting a precedent, though, that if there's a scheduled league week that captains agree upon ahead of the season, then I think you have to get penalized for not showing up or not having a team to show up for the game. And again, I'm not saying for this season. I'm saying something to think about for next year, because you're potentially asking 6 teams that are ready to play. If one team can't and it messes up the week, and then you have to do a makeup
That's why
game.
you're not gonna have
It doesn't. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I hear you. I
I hear-
disagree, but I forfeits are
I
stupid.
disagree for now, but I hear the point. All right, let's talk about it though. We have Lionhearts versus Top Guns. Both teams coming in a little bit different. Breaking news, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this or not.
You were traded.
Who's traded for
Well,
both of us?
Well, the quarterback I thought I was getting traded to play for, the captain, is out this week. Making his debut in leagues this year is none other than Rabin. Rabin is going to be the starting quarterback this Sunday for the Lionhearts versus the Top Guns. Let's talk about it. What do we think happens in this game?
Wow. First of all, wow.
Happy for Rabin. Obviously, the Lionhearts is not, Yaron and Rabin are not on the same level, but Rabin is nostalgic. It's nostalgic to see Rabin get another start. But let's talk about the game, though. What do we think is going to happen?
My
By the way,
prediction-
not that we're all biased here because these are our themes, but let's put TBI over leagues, just like Jordan puts Jewball above leagues. Let's talk about it.
I mean, now that we have this very interesting little nugget, I do think that changes.
What's a nugget?
A nugget? I don't know. Do it for the nookie. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Show, so we can't say
We do have a very interesting nugget there. So like, obviously that drastically changes
Yeah, it does.
Lionhearts, and as much as I do love Robin, that's going to hurt their chance of winning this coming week. I don't know what the Top Guns roster looks like just yet, but it does look like Top Guns are getting a little bit healthier. Like you said, Singer's playing, or at least he played last week. I believe he's going to be playing this week. So, based off of just a couple of personnel that we know are or are not playing, I'm going to say, excuse me, Top Gun comes away with the W. Let's call it a 4-3. I don't know about the extra points, but let's call it a 4-3. I think Fight puts up another couple of good offensive drives and picks up from where he was 2 weeks ago.
I love how Logan is so against the extra points, but like so subtly. He's like, I don't know about the. I'm just gonna call how many touchdowns I think are gonna be scored. While Top Gun is getting healthy, like you said, Singer's coming back, and we're starting to gel. I think the Lionhearts are also getting healthier. I think Zada's coming back.
Zada's coming back.
I think Avery's coming back. Avery's back, maybe.
He's definitely getting healthier. He played 2 weeks ago. He's getting there. Caught a touchdown. Yeah, he's definitely getting there.
I don't know if Sting's back yet.
Sting is back.
So I'm saying, so you're looking at a drastically different team than we've been seeing from them the last couple of games. That being said, Yaron drafts the team that he wants to play with and that he thinks that is great for him. So meaning his throws, his play style. His play style is very different from Robin. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that team meshes with each other. Again, a guy like Oren, right, is very critical because he's a snapper for Yaron. Robin takes off the back, drops back 3 steps, and then calls hike. So it's kind of like the same thing. I think it's like I'm gonna say
35.
33-13.
Okay.
Oh, blowout.
Okay.
You think it's 5-2? Who?
The top Gun.
5-2?
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Good.
Let's
Great.
go-
No, I'll be thrilled. Look,
I think
I hope you're
I
right.
think Robin might throw 2 touchdowns.
Let's come back to reality.
for life.
Let's come back to reality. Listen, it's going to be a defensive minded game, and I'll tell you why. The Top Gun defense is really good, but the Lionheart defense, the last time these two teams played,
It's also really good.
is also really good. And they played with, and the last time they played it was not with Zada. So keeping that in mind, you got 2 really good defensive teams. I think it's a defensive grinder. It's stupid for me to come out there and tell you this could be that score versus that score. I don't have a number for you. I think,
Put a number on it, man.
listen, I think
TBI over
I think it's a 2-1, a 2-1, 3-2, a 2-1, 3-2 game. Very, very, very similar to what you said before. 2-1, 3-2 game. I think it's a low scoring game. I think it's gonna be tough for Robin. He's going against probably the best team assembled for him to play against in leagues. Again, assuming the whole Top Gun roster is playing, like Jack, like Singer, like Mighty, like Munch, like you talk about Dobbs and Salem, and you're both you guys. It's going to be tough out there for Robin, but there's a lot of talent at receiver for Lionhearts as well. It's tough. Again, if you have a good Robin game, not a great Robin game, but a good Robin game where he's not throwing the ball,
definitely can make.
He's not throwing bad. He's not throwing behind the receiver. It gets picked off. If he can keep the turnovers at minimum, where he only throws 1 pick in the game, it's going to give the Lionhearts a really good shot at potentially winning that game. It's going to be tough, though. I mean, I think Lionhearts are the underdogs in the game. I definitely would put them, even though Lionhearts Top Guns have not played like the team that should be getting the push. But I do think that the push is for the Top Guns. Lionhearts are the underdogs in the game. It's going to be a tough grinder out there, but I think it's going to be a good game to watch. So if you're not playing this week because your team couldn't field the team, I suggest you come down and watch game 1. Assuming it's game 1.
I think it's game
I think we're playing 9:45.
So again, if it's going to be game 2, then come down, watch game 2,
Or stay.
or stay for
Play
game 2.
game 1 and stay for game 2.
It's going to be an exciting game.
Whatever it is, just watch. Watch.
Do we call them line butts this week?
It's a good question. It would be the lion butts, right?
Yeah, line butts.
Yeah, lion butts.
I like it. I mean, I don't necessarily like lion butts per se, but I like the name. Anyway.
Or ass hearts.
That's great.
All right.
Kid show.
All right. Let's take a breather. We mentioned it earlier in the show. It's the debut of Praymakers.
The game was a back and forth battle the entire day, but Dark found themselves down by 1 with 5 minutes left of the game, needing a stop and a score to push the game into overtime and give them a chance to win. Seemingly, all hope was lost as Dax was driving down the field with ease. However, on the very next play, Jordan comes up with a huge interception to give his team the ball and potentially a game-tying drive. Play after that, Mayor Singer lays down block after block, leading to a huge run to get Dark down to the 8-yard line, followed up by a screen pass to Prime, who bulldozes his way into the end zone for a touchdown, tying the game, pushing it into overtime, and eventually Dark winning 4-3 after a crazy turn of events that could have only happened because of those 3 Praymakers: Jordan, Singer, and Prime.
All right, guys. I don't want people to get confused here. We did not kick off Big E's Hug of the Week. We're saving it for next week.
Ironically
for
enough,
Big
you'd think he would need a hug this week
Week.
for not having a segment this week, but there is no segment. It's not that he is not. This is nothing Big E did. This is just,
no.
you know, we wanted to spread the love and have room for everybody.
Exactly. I think Big E would support that as well as he is, and he's going to give us a nice hug of the week for next week because one of our teams is going to need a hug after this coming Sunday. All right, Davo, take us home. What do we got left this week? It's going to be what? 3
Stats
in.
Let's go over the standings, right? I believe
Yes.
you're 6-6,
That is accurate.
and I think I'm 3-9, which feels way better than I thought I could do. So here we are, 3 stats in. David, do we have another theme this week?
We do, of course.
Ooh.
This Week Leaks theme. Sorry, just joking. This 3 stats in theme is leagues.
Weeks,
Leagues.
weeks,
Leagues.
weeks,
Leagues.
weeks.
There you go. Okay.
Week leagues.
So we leaks because we're sandwiched between week leaks. All right.
All right, no.
I think we lost PJs here.
All right, first question hopefully is the easiest of them, right?
Hopefully. Who
Okay.
knows with Damo? He goes to switcheroo. We get the hardest question first.
Now, just remember
I got
that
it wrong either way.
And for those of you playing at home, hopefully you do better
Yeah.
than we do.
Agreed.
this
You're 500. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
these questions span over all 3 seasons.
Okay.
Oh, I like
2.5
that.
seasons, but yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's still
it's fair.
the season's just not finished. Okay. Which quarterback has thrown for the most touchdowns in leagues?
Including playoffs and championships.
Not including playoffs and championships.
Not
Not
including.
including playoffs and championships.
Oh, that's interesting.
Ooh.
So first of all, it's got to be someone who
That's not
played,
playoffs and championships. So.
Well, keep in mind, Dax is eliminated.
and so is Gronk. He played 1 season.
Yes.
I would imagine he. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
it's-
he also played 2 games this season.
No, but he had one good, one bad one. No, I would say.
I would maybe not eliminated, but I would
I
assume
think
it's not Gronk.
and Rabin, even though he's getting a game
He
this
played
week.
1 season.
Yeah.
So
it's
he's
not
gonna be
Rabin.
eliminated.
So it leaves
So
us Prey
Fight, pray,
and your own.
and your own. The most touchdowns.
And playoffs are not included.
Well, if playoffs aren't included,
your-
that means your own got good games.
No, Yaron's first season. He did nothing with that team. He had
With 193.
193. They didn't score much points.
I mean,
So last year's team did very well.
but, I'll guess. I mean, the problem is Prey was injured this season. Prey was like my
games.
gut,
Yeah, I mean,
but he missed weeks.
a tough one.
Maybe I should have made the last question.
You know what? I'm going to go with your own. I know I talked myself out of it. I'm going to go with your own.
I got to go with Prey.
The answer is Yaron
Wow.
with
There we go.
36 touchdowns
Wow. And how many games?
Jeez.
from 13 games.
That's very nice.
Wow.
Who came in second?
I'm going to go with
Right.
Fight with 35 touchdowns.
Wow.
wow. I was
Well, year one hit a really good team.
Right.
And last year's team
all
got
right,
off.
Fight
to,
Club, you mighty.
the last year's team got off to a pretty decent start. So
Yeah, it's true. He got injured, but he got injured. He's got,
It's true.
he got
True.
fewer games because of the injuries.
Okay.
Anyway, nice.
Not
Okay.
bad.
All right.
So 4-9.
4-9. Well, 1-0 today.
Yeah,
4-0.
4-9.
Call that 1-0
Yeah.
today.
Okay. Question number 2. So we know who threw touchdowns. Who caught the most touchdowns in leagues?
Interesting. You know, I've got two names. In my
By the
head.
way, Morty Dax might be up there, which is pretty crazy when you think about it so far this year. Him is in.
I've got
I mean,
I had
Mighty
two names in my head. Mighty is one of them.
Storm also is another one. Singer. Jack didn't play the first year, so Jack doesn't get the.
Is it?
Jack actually did play one game in the first year. He
I'm
played for Birds of
thinking,
Prey.
I'm thinking of a name that you didn't mention. I'm thinking Goldberg. Yeah, I think it might be Goldberg. I know he got injured last year, but he had a
you're
handful of monster
You're
games.
right.
And Goldberg was on Birds of Prey. Like, I think it might be
Prime,
Goldberg.
can't forget Prime either.
I know. Yeah,
All right, I'm
there's
gonna.
a lot of good choices.
Jeez.
Johnny Storm
By the way,
also,
Gronk also you can include.
but he didn't catch any last year. You know what I mean? Like last,
No.
it's not gonna. Agreed.
know.
You know, he's got great stats. You know, but
You're going Goldberg.
I think I'm gonna go Goldberg.
Gronk actually did not catch a touchdown at all.
Okay. Wow.
In leagues ever?
Okay.
Pretty
I'm
sure.
I'm going to go Storm.
It's a good guess.
What are you going with?
Goldberg.
You're both wrong.
Okay.
Storm didn't even finish in the top 3.
Okay.
Loser.
It was Mighty
Oh,
with
man.
16,
Should go with Mighty. It was too obvious.
Jack with 13,
Wow.
Wow.
and number 3, the one and only Kamish Jordan with 12.
Wow.
He was big.
Okay.
You know, shame on me because I've been on his team every year and I should have known that.
Wow, you have. That's
Yeah.
true.
Assman and cronies and now
Mighty was too obvious, but you know what it is? Prey and Mighty didn't connect a lot last.
I know that's what I was
That's
thinking.
why I went against Mighty.
Yeah. I get I
But
guess
fight,
you did.
but
Fight and
Might
Mighty.
and Mighty have a good connection.
Well, right. Fight had 35. Yeah. All right. Okay. 1-1. Not bad. I can live with that.
Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Fight has thrown either 3 or 4 of his touchdowns that season to other receivers.
I mean, only 3 or 4?
Of his touchdowns
I
in
mean, like he
in
threw
those leagues.
30 to Mighty?
No. In the
Oh,
first
in that
season,
we-
in
oh,
that-
that's-
in that first season, most of
Meaning
his
all of
touchdowns-
his touchdowns were Mighty except 3 or 4. Wow. Only worked that way this year. Keep going.
we've had
Last one.
we've had 16 in Jewball League so far.
Yes.
Yep.
6 different drafted teams.
List them alphabetically.
No. Which one of those teams has neither a winning nor a losing record?
Which of those teams? Does that include playoffs?
No, playoffs are not included. Playoffs are there are no stats, so they don't get counted in 3 stats.
So this is a team with a 500 record.
I love it how you asked the question though. Instead of saying which team ended with a 500 record, you said which team has neither a winning nor a losing. You know, it's possible Assman won 500. Like Assman might be the answer.
You
Who
guys
else?
were the number 2 seed that year.
But we like lost our last 2 games. We won our first 2 games. Like it might have been like 3
Playoffs and championships
No,
included.
they're not.
Fight Club was only 1 year.
No, Fight Club has 2 years.
No. Oh,
What
that's
do you
right.
mean?
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
but 1 and 2.
Fight has 3 years.
Oh, so you
Oh.
would count his, so like Top Guns would be
Correct.
factored in. Oh,
Cronies has their own
only says 1 year.
Right, Aspen has 1 year. Roll Tide has 1 year. Top Gun / Fight Club. Lionhearts.
Lionhearts have 2 years, so you're including 193 in that also.
Correct.
Oh,
That's crazy. I'm gonna go with Aspen just because it's the easiest. And because I get to say it again.
I feel like because
Kid show.
on 193 had an awful.
No, hold
first
on 1
year.
second. I take it back.
193 had an awful first year, and then last year they were 3-1, I believe.
No,
Oh, they tied. Sorry, they were two.
there were a bunch of.
They were
Here's
2
the
1
other
they were
piece.
2
No.
1 1.
I'm wrong. Aspen couldn't have been the number 2 seed and gone 500.
All right. I think we were. I think Bop was 500 that year
Yeah, that sounds
because we had
right.
2 wins. Our only 2 wins were against.
And what's Bop this year?
Bop is 2-1 this year.
Oh, Fight had a bunch of ties. They lost a bunch last year.
I'm going Bop.
I'm gonna go Lionhearts.
The answer is Bop.
Yes.
With a record of
Oh,
6.
Once again,
That was close,
under
by the way.
500.
That was a lot.
One and two.
We're both under 500.
Uh,
At least I got one in this game.
Interestingly enough, both the Lionhearts, both Yaron and Fight, have the same winning percentage of 39.5.
under 500.
39.25.
Under 500.
Correct.
Okay. All right, Dave.
Aspen was actually 2-1-1 that season.
We tied.
With
if you counted playoffs,
193.
1 second. If you counted playoffs, we would have
That's right.
been
They were.
500.
That's right. They were 0-3-1. That makes sense. They tied. Yeah. All right, Davo. Great show.
Yeah, great show, great questions as
Yeah.
always, Davo. Appreciate you
Great
doing the
segment.
legwork
Loved
to
it.
find
Yeah.
it.
Now,
It's
three
just-
stats out.
Okay.
There's no game tonight, but don't forget to sign up for a potential game 1 or game 2. We're not sure yet
The
exactly.
new one.
Well, no, which we don't know if it's the first or the second.
IJWT.
Oh, nice.
Gentlemen,
Boys,
we got football this week.
we got football.
May the best team win.
We will.
Davo, with that, what are we?
3 balls in.
We are now 3 balls out.
All right,
All
boys.
right.
Mazda, Briss,
Wednesday morning, Firehouse, 9 a.m. Be there.
Or no.
Don't.
Peace out, everybody.
We're 3 balls in and we 3 balls out. We all up on your screens like it's prime time route.
never thought of it.
It was after they changed your name from their other name.
Was it Rule 75?
Totally, just underrated. In the movie,
No, the original name was Show Me Your Tits. That's a
Oh,
kid show.
you're
I'm
right.
sorry.
You're right.
I'm sorry,
You're
kid show. But that was the original name.
You are right. I wrote that first index card that Dom sent out.
Then it
Oh,
was
man.
changed, and I said, "Oh, Rule 76 play like a champion."
That's so good. Best is Davo literally in what I would like to call pre-production meeting / chat. We're like, we got to keep it like a kid show. And within the first 10 minutes of the show, Show Me Your Tits drops out.
I know. I'm just like,
I didn't want to say it. I'm like, it's a kid show, but then like it happened.
all right.
See if
All
I can
right.
find it.
Let's
You ready? What? The Knicks? So it's not PJ. So it's not PJs.
No, it's not
It
you.
was PJs. They were doing great until I sat down next to you.
What the hell does that mean?
Does anyone need a beer?
Yeah.
Apparently he does. I am.
Thanks, man. Cheers. Davo, cheers.
That's all the couple of months it's open.
Okay.
Man.
And also Briss Shismano.
Yeah.
By the way, when I said don't look at my phone, I said don't look at my phone. It's because I was checking the Knicks score, and they were up 13, and now they're down.
Well, that's because you looked during the show.
Yeah. You blame it on me. They were up 13. Now what are they down by?
1,
Okay. They're still in the game. They'll come back.
7.5 minutes left.
All right, let's go.
And also, don't forget that we are 3 balls in.
You already did that, Dave.
And now we are.
3
Yeah, but-
balls out.
But we're supposed to do that thing after I say everything.
No,
It
it's
works.
fine.
It works.
It's fine.
Are we canceling league spray?
All right, so let's, oh.
We can't league. Is that the first question?
Could you imagine?
That'll be
if-
like
Leagues are
second.
done.
Could you imagine that now that you're healthy, they're like, yeah, we should cancel leagues.
Cut the season. We should only play 15 weeks. Let's cut the season short.